I was washing my hair and just soaping up, and I felt something. And it wasn't like a small thing, it was like a big something. My name is Anjali, and I'm from Kelowna. My first tumor that we found was like a 2 by 3 centimeters. It was really huge, which is crazy because I had been breastfeeding. I didn't have time to have cancer. I had 2 little kids. I was surprised I hadn't noticed it. They decided to biopsy it, and then it was my family doctor that told me, and she couldn't believe she was telling me that this was the case. I couldn't believe she was telling me this was the case. I think one of the hardest things about the diagnosis was I had 2 little kids, one who wasn't even a year old, and then Kidel was 5 or 6 at the time. And just thinking about, if I wasn't here, what their life would look like. And then you think about the life you want for them, and you'll never know if they have it. I first learned about Inspire from my acupuncturist. I did show up in Kelowna at the offices, and I'm so glad I did. It was amazing. First time I saw one of the counselors at Inspire was just to talk about how do I tell my son. I didn't want him to be worried at all. I'm sure if I wasn't here, they would have great lives, but you never really want them to have a life without you. And then I had my double mastectomy 2 days before everything shut down in COVID. I got to come home from the hospital to 2 kids who weren't in school for the next 6 months when I could, barely raise my hand to get a tea mug out of my cupboard. I think the first group classes I did were virtual, and they were the lowest impact, just trying to get your range of motion back. And then all of a sudden, not being able to reach for that mug became being able to reach for that mug. Those classes were like a godsend. So I got all the treatments: surgeries, chemo, radiation, and drug therapy. And at some point in that, I definitely had treatment fatigue. That's when I saw a doctor at InspireHealth. She spent enough time with me to understand my values. She just reframed all the treatments that made me willing to do them. Unfortunately, that's kind of what's missing from the medical system, is they see a disease and they treat it. They don't see a person who has feelings about the treatments that they're going into. It is a shift when you've gone through this major and traumatic thing to go back to normal life. It's nice to know it's still there as a resource, even when you think you've gone back to normal. If people are curious when they get diagnosed, they have the power to change the course of their journey. One of the things I've probably learned through the journey is a little bit more compassion and love for self. Go to InspireHealth. They will help you. Whatever you need, they will help you. It's kind of like having a good friend.